So I attended a Deb Haaland coffee with your Congresswoman. She's a Democrat. And while, no, I did not wear this beautiful hat, I did actually talk to her and I did let her know how I felt as a Trump supporter about what she had to say. And spoiler alert, she actually said some really nice things. So she was very, she sounded very as if she's very bipartisan and she's trying to work with the other side and be kind. And when someone brought up hate crimes and they were so concerned about that, and I just thought, are you guys kidding me? Have you not been watching the whole Jesse thing? Seriously, you're talking hate crimes? Got to be kidding me, right? Anyway, no, someone brought up because they were asking questions. Someone was like, "And what about hate crime? What are you going to do about that?" And she looked very uncomfortable because she was like, She said, we're going to go ahead and go after criminals generally. Like, we're just going to come after people when people are doing, breaking the law and committing crimes that are whatever. So it's not necessarily hate people in general, but like, we're going to treat all criminals the same. And if you do a crime, you're going to have to pay for it. So I was like, good, thank you. Because the whole hate crime thing is so stupid. And then some guy was like, yeah, because I had a friend and he was talking about the fact that like he was just driving down the road and people were yelling stuff at him, like horrible things. And I was just like, and I mean, it was kind of like one of those really awkward moments where she was even thinking like, But I felt like that was a Jesse moment. Because first of all, what like white people or whatever the race is, we have a lot of Mexicans here, New Mexicans here. So it's like New Mexicans are just standing outside of on the street, waiting for black people to drive by so that they can yell obscenities at them. And then just so happens that, no, of course, the guy's not listening to his music. He has the radio down and his windows are down too, and it's just like, no, your story is lame and it doesn't hold water. Please, people are not, I'm sorry, but like we were all raised in families like where there was the Cosbys, there was the Bernie Macs, there was Oprah. We had, and we're like a lot of the schools were integrated. At least where I was from, I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, so diversity. It's something that we're all raised around, and now you're trying to say that like black people can't talk to white people and white people don't know how to talk to black people. I don't buy it. It's a fake narrative. I'm sorry. Had this been like the 1930s and people had never seen each other, maybe, okay, but no, it's like the dumbest thing in the world that I'd heard. But also the fact that like she's saying that, she would try to say stuff to the other people because you have to work together on whatever side you're going to be on in order for, there to be any kind of progress. So I was like, thank you. But I did say to her, I was like, as a Trump supporter, I appreciate the fact that you're actually willing to work with the other side. And then I mentioned the fact that I hate that, crime is a huge issue here in New Mexico, and so are drugs. And it's one thing to smoke weed and whatever, but like when you're a meth head or whatever it is that you have to use your needles for, and your needles are all over parks because Albuquerque Healthcare for the Homeless is passing out needles to everybody for free. And it's like, oh, here, come on, take your needles. We don't want you to get hepatitis, but those kids, it's all good. Then that's a problem. Anyway, and then I went with one of my really good friends, actually, who I've met through my political endeavors, who I talk trash with politics about. And he had Deb sign his marijuana card. I was like, dude. But it was funny. She did. She signed it. So congratulations, Dave. You did a good job. But anyway, aside from that, just trying to attend to, Republican things. And it was really weird. There was that moment and then someone was like, we would like to thank you for the borders. We don't want any borders here. We don't think that that's necessary. There's money for that where that stuff could go instead of that's better. And this coffee shop actually got applause, a pretty loud applause for that too. And it made me uncomfortable because I was just like, oh, I want to say something, because how can you not say, I get that people are like, oh, there's no crisis here. There was this one guy, he's a drag queen, and he's talking about how, he lives in Brownsville, and he was standing at the wall. He's like, look, there's no problem here. And I'm like, dude, because there's a wall. Yeah, that's why we need a wall. Anyway, that's what I have for now. There's that, and I kind of felt like that, and then that whole hate crime thing, like they were people that were planted basically to be there. They were plants, in my opinion, who, sorry, my dog, she's very nosy, who were there to ask questions to get a feel of the reaction of the room. But because, like I said, Deb, she seemed very uncomfortable with those questions. She was just like, ooh. And she gave very, neutral answers. And honestly, I didn't even hear what her response was about the wall. But come on. And for Democrats to say, no, we don't need a wall. And every other Democratic, person who's been in office has said, yes, we need a wall. Obama said we needed a wall. It's on the internet. Watch it. He very clearly says we need the wall. Hillary Clinton said it. Bill Clinton said it. It's Chuck Schumer said it. People have said we need a wall. And now that it's like, oh, you don't want it because Trump wants the wall? That's such BS. Such BS. And to think that like, okay, cool, we're going to let whoever in and whatever happened. No worries. Who cares? Not too long ago, there was like a mass grave that was dug up with women, and there have been a few that have been women and children. And, to say that sex trafficking isn't a thing, I actually try not to watch the whole thing. There's this guy, I think it's Deluxe Nation, or maybe I watched it in my, on Facebook. It was an article I read, and did some information, found out some information about it. No, it was Deluxe Nation. He's talking about how like there's like this whole like child porn thing, and it shows this pedophile. I don't know, actually, there was this one, I don't remember where I saw it, but the guy, they did an interview with the guy, and he said, yeah, like we would get the children and the women, and if the men didn't want them, then we'd have to kill them, and what do? We're not going to just give them back. Like, we didn't have any purpose for them. And he talked about how easy it was to kill people, and I believe that article, or whatever it was on CNN. So maybe I'll go look for it again and see if I can post it. But it was I just Googled like the mass graves in Mexico, and the Juarez one came up, and these are coming from CNN, BBC, all the articles. It's not like it's a fake news thing. No, they were talking about this, and it was like maybe even 2009, 2012. I'm not exactly sure. Look it up for yourself, find out. But yes, if people are being murdered in mass there, and this was happening before the wall was built, and you're telling me that they're not still putting people back and forth, then I think you're delusional. Because so the murderer just stays in Mexico and Juarez or whatever, and how convenient that it's that close to the border. And as someone who goes to El Paso, they do have a wall there, and I feel like it's a very safe, city. I actually feel like that it's safer there than it is here in Albuquerque. And to know that in New Mexico there are parts that there isn't a wall and it can't be monitored at all times, that's a concern, because I want to know who's coming into my community. I want to know who's coming into my state. And Albuquerque is one of the states we're number one for car theft. Okay, we're a very poverty-stricken state, and I'm not saying it's because of all the Mexicans and whatever, but like, come on, if there's a sex ring, think about it, then why wouldn't there be a car theft thing where they take the chopped parts to Mexico? I mean, people, if you warm up your car here and you leave it unattended for like 5 minutes, it'll get stolen. We're known for cars getting stolen. And people, every morning, they're like, don't leave your cars unattended, people. After 2 cars are left, then come back. After 2 or 3 cars are left, then it's like, oh yeah, haha, another car got stolen. Anyway, I guess I'm done because my kid is not going to let me do this. So it's good seeing you all. Take care. Hope you like the hat, and I will talk to you later. Bye.